Heat at Bulls. This is Thursday NBA. VR, we're doing this wise guy style. Give us your number first.
All right. I made Chicago a 2-point home favorite and set the total at 186.
Okay. Chicago -2. Now, where do you expect the value to be on this game?
I see the value on the under in the total in this game. I'm expecting the odds makers to bring the total out much higher than that 186 number that I project is the true line. And I'm going to be looking to back the under for sure.
Why?
Bottom line, we're looking at two of the best defensive teams in the NBA. Statistics back that up. You're looking at number 1 and 2 in defensive field goal percentage against. You're looking at 1 and 3 in three-point field goal percentage against.
Okay, so when you get into the stats, you know, there's been the whole kind of sabermetric revolution, especially in baseball. And then you've got the sabermetric guys that poo-hoo at some of the, like, scoring average is a stat they don't really like because it doesn't take into account the pace of the game. So when you look at your stats in the NBA from the defensive side, what's the key stats? Is it opponent's field goal percentage? Is that the key stat to you?
For me, yeah, absolutely. Okay. The field goal percentage that they allow is definitely the key stat defensively, I think.
So the question is, if Miami and Chicago both are 1 and 3 or not both, but are
1 and 2.
1 and 2. I'm sorry, in each regard for each team, 1 and 2, does that mean then shouldn't the number come in extra low on these teams? Why is the number not going to account for that stat?
I'm going to tell you why. Going into the break, these two teams were scoring some points. 7 of the last 10 games went over for the Heat. 7 of the last 10 games went over for Chicago as well. These two teams met about a month ago. They scored 195 points combined, 196. The total for that game was 186, 187. So I think we're going to see an adjustment just based on that past number. And I think that's where we're going to find our value.
All right, so you're saying the recent performance has made, and again, we know the bettors have a bias towards recent performance.
They look in that stat sheet and they see that each team's been scoring in the hundreds their last 10 games. You do the math, it's going to break that 186 easily.
All right, so they're overvaluing that in your mind. But here's the question, is the fact they've been scoring a lot combined been more that their offense has really been scoring, or has their defense been playing weaker in those 10 games?
I think the offense has just picked it up. And again, we were heading into the All-Star break, and teams just start looking ahead to their vacations. I mean, it's human nature.
So do you look to play
less defense played that week heading into the All-Star break than any other time during the year? You could see it, you know, at the end of the game. Teams are just lethargic defensively. Rebounds are down, scoring is up.
So you look to play over before the All-Star break?
Exactly, and under right after the All-Star break. Because again, offense is a rhythm. You need a rhythm for offense.
Okay.
Here they are taking a break. These are teams that were playing well offensively, scoring 100 points plus, even though that's not what they average for the year. And now all of a sudden, they get that break. And I think it's going back to the bread and butter for both, and we're going to see a defensive, beautiful, defensive game, one of those Eastern Conference battles. These are the top 2-3 teams, top 5 for sure. You got to add the Bulls in there now in the East. This is a TNT matchup on Thursday night, so I think we're going to see an even more inflated total because of that. We know the public likes to bet the over.
Especially with a team like the Heat that's a sexy offensive team.
Exactly.
Okay, this makes a lot of sense to me. I actually like your rationale in this game. Okay, so let's think about this a second. I don't think I have any questions. I really like the rationale. That was the one point I wanted to make, is typically people think of tired teams and they think of less offense, but in truth in the NBA is tired means
less defense.
Less defense,
yeah,
even.
Sure.
It takes more energy to play defense. Thus, if you have a rested team that's a little bit out of sync because of a layoff, that's really a recipe towards the under.
Exactly.
Okay, well, this is easy for me. I either agree, neutral, or disagree on your picks. I agree strongly on this one.
2 out of 3.
Yeah,
2 out of 3.
Give us your range in which you are going to find value on the under.
189 and lower.
All right.
And higher.
And higher. All right. So if you can get 189 or more points, you're playing the under.
For sure.
Closing thoughts?
Just Looking forward to a good second half of the NBA season.
I don't mean
March
closing
Madness
cut-
is upon
Hold
us.
on, I didn't mean closing
Videos have been on fire. I haven't touted once throughout the 3 videos.
Oh, you were holding
if
in.
You've taken the selections.
You know what it's like? A guy coming to Vegas for a week, hasn't been to the
Gotta
strip.
get it in
He
there.
hasn't
You've
been to the
gotta
strip
get it
club
in
on day
there.
5. He's
I
going
got all
about it.
but a minute to get it in there. If you followed the suggestions presented here on videos, you'd have cashed 5 out of 6 bets
So you've been 5 out of 6
on
since
my
when?
recommendations
Since when?
we started doing videos.
All right. Well, now that I'm actually agreeing with you, that number
We're looking at 2
that
and
percentage,
1. That's
that percentage is
67.
going
Yeah,
up.
it's going to shoot up a little higher.
All right, guys, join the conversation. Tell us if you think VR is touting too much in the comments section.
Don't be shy.
And we'll be back on. You're coming back Thursday for weekend action,
Absolutely,
right? We'll be back on Thursday night to have some Saturday and Sunday, or Friday, Saturday, and Sunday games. Talk to you then.